All right, how is it going, my magnificent sons of bitches? And I'm back again today because I wanted to go ahead and sit there and say, guess what? The whole United States of America that doesn't live in Washington, D.C., New York, or California are pretty much Trump Davidians, according to the mainstream media. So you might as well just go ahead and wear it like a badge of fucking honor. But I got my buddy here with me, Big Kev. His link is in the description, and it's this way, actually. Uh, his link's in the description, so you can go ahead and check out his channel. It's below Twizzy's. I invited Twizzy on here, put the link to his channel in the description box, so you can go ahead and sub to Twizzy Mania as well. Um, but we're here today to go ahead and talk about the the Trump the Trump phenomenon that has become the Trump Davidians. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to Big Kev, and when you're ready, you can go ahead and turn the mic over to me, Kev. So uh, this is Big Kev for you. Go ahead, Kev.
Well, everything is so great. Everybody talks about this. Everyone thinks that I have this coat. That's how Trump would be like. He would. They like to think there was some kind of coat. I actually saw a video recently of The View where they all thought that Trump's voters were on January the 6th, but let's to be known to those heckling hens, there's a lot more Trump supporters than you guys ever thought imaginable. And the mainstream media is scared for 2024, and they should be. We have a babbling idiot. We pretty much have the real life version of Herbert the Pervert from Family Guy in the White House right now. He can't tell whether or not that he's eating chocolate chip cookies or if he's eating ice cream. The only thing I can think he probably, I'm starting to think, Prodigal Hill, I'm starting to think that is not Joe Biden. That is Barack Obama in a Joe Biden mask.
You know what? And you could be right. And in fact, it's funny because the mainstream media is throwing a fucking tissy, dude. They're everywhere. Oh my god! Oh my god! And you look at it, because when we used to do this, whenever we started doing YouTube, it was all for fun. I would invite Big Kev and Steven Rose on my channels. Sometimes I would invite Dark Horse and NF Punk. Sometimes Wrestling Jesus would come on. And then we would always have fun. It was us just sitting down and having fun. But it seems like the mainstream media tried to copy this formula. And, while we were sitting there goofing off and we would say some dumb shit just to go ahead and get under each other's. It's like the media took it up on their mission because now you see the dumbest motherfuckers here that are considered journalists. I think what the media thought was, look at these guys goofing off, saying stupid shit, and, having a good time and enjoying each other's company and shit. That, we just need to find the dumbest fucking people to do journalism. So now you get somebody like Richard Ojeda. I'm Major Retard Richard Ojeda, and I'm here to tell you that Donald Trump is bad. This is exactly how the motherfucker sounds. I'm not exaggerating it. They actually have motherfuckers out there that in no way, shape, or form would you trust them to do the most remedial of fucking jobs now are doing journalism. You look at fucking Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a fucking taco waitress, is now in Congress. And it's funny because and they say the shit, like the media will say stuff and it sounds stupid to you. I know it sounds stupid to me, but they'll say stuff like, I can't believe everybody's going to vote for a guy with 91 indictments. The sheer fact that you're still sitting there, he has 91 indictments. You know what I'm saying? It should tell you that's not 91 indictments. That's 91 of your failures. You failed to convict him on any of the shit. We've had to listen to this crap for 8 years now. And, and they're like, every time they do some stupid news story, this is why Donald Trump doesn't have to debate, Kev. I'll go ahead and let you go ahead and take on. You go ahead and dissect. Am I right?
Absolutely. And what's bad though is that he thought that there was an election fraud. And to be honest with you people, whoever, I don't give a damn where you're from, If you think for 1 second that the guy that we have in office right now got 80 million plus votes in 2020, you are gladly mistaken and you are a moron and you need to shoot yourself in the head. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean with that. I'm just saying, how can you sit there and vote for a guy who can barely walk up the stairs? He doesn't fall down the stairs. He falls walking up the stairs. And you have guys like Gutfield on Fox News who makes fun of him every freaking night. But it's actually good to see that because we have Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, all helping the media, making fun of Trump. Trump's got all these indictments. We all know that the Russian thing was a hoax. That's already been put to rest. Number two, why is it okay for someone like Hillary Clinton to send personal emails on her file to other people and not be charged for it? Why is it okay for Joe Biden to be on the telephone call, pretty much doing the deals with his dirty son? He's probably sniffing crack off his son's asshole. And that would explain why he's the way he is right now. But yet, nothing's being done about it. But Trump can go over there. I'm telling you, Trump can go over there and save a bunch of people from a burning building. He can save a cat from a tree, and they would still find something wrong with it. I see you, man.
Yeah. I have to put my in case anybody's wondering, I have to put my mic on mute so Big Kev, because Big Kev's been getting an echo. So I've been putting my mic on mute so you can go ahead and talk. But absolutely 100% right. And you got Hillary all of a sudden. How's it going, Lucifer Night Star? We'll go ahead and put some of these comments up here. We'll go ahead and put barbecue sauce. But it's totally it's totally like Hillary Clinton comes out and she's like, Trump is comparable to Hitler. This bitch got fucking Kuru, all right? Snacking around on them fucking adrenochrome glands that she fucking eats all the time. And all of a sudden, we're going to sit there. How many people does she know that's been Arkansas-sided? And, the Democrats never take personal responsibility. I mean, what is your platform? Mutilating fucking kids and shit? Going ahead and raising taxes? Going ahead and taking away the Second Amendment right. You've already taken away, pretty much dissected the First Amendment right, the Fourth Amendment right. I mean, you go ahead and look at the Democrat platform. It's just not a very, 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 this is a fucking hilarious thing is, I was on Twitter the other night, right? Or the other day, whatever it was. And these goofs are celebrating. They're like, oh, we had such a big victory. Oh, my God, we won in Ohio. And we won in Kentucky. And we won in Virginia. You go back and look at the results, and they were paper-thin margins. Even if you didn't have a notorious, and let's be real, whenever you look at the 2020 election, you're saying that Trump got the most votes in history, but Joe Biden got more than the most votes in history. That's fucking stupid. That just the anomalies to this are utterly fucking laughable. And the sheer fact is that YouTube had to censor fucking everybody and took my channel down for just exposing the fucking obvious. To sit there and show you the numbers. That's why my main channel got taken down. Was because I was showing you the numbers and how they didn't match up and then comparing them to elections past and elections this year. At the end of the day, when you look at those margins, so the Democrats are notorious for rigging fucking elections. Nobody trusts you. All right? Nobody trusts you. Nobody's on board with any of the bullshit that you're trying to push for. You're trying to push for this globalism bullshit. That's an absolute joke because you're all absolutely. Look at the guy who's in charge that you put in charge. Look at the fucking guy. Look at the last person you tried to put in charge before this guy. Arkansas-ing the fuck out of everybody. And you're going to try and sit there and convince me that Democrats win honest elections? Absolutely not. That's not, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And I know way far too many people who were probably far left of me, probably this time, 4 or 5 years ago, that have now migrated far right of me, because I still like to consider myself a centrist, even though I tend to lean more right, simply because, well, I don't want to sit there and say I lean a little bit more. I lean a little less left. That's exactly what I should be saying. I lean a little less left because I believe that the actual right have gravitated to the left. And, now you've got the fucking commies on this side, and you've got the fascists on this side. But both of those ideologies are leftist ideologies. Fascism and communism, regardless of what some fucking dumbed down to the lowest common denominator Harvard graduate will fucking tell you, both those ideologies are left. They're left. They're statist. They're statist. They're not conflicting. They're just, gradually going into complete authoritarian control, which, as an American, I don't believe too many of us are for. Unless, like, Danielson, where are you? I didn't think that Danielson. I've offered to do a Chris Benoit video with Danielson, but he hasn't been here. So maybe one of these days we can get a good Chris Benoit video going on. But no, this is exactly what it is. Nobody, believe it or not, right? All fucking around aside, they just don't have a base. I believe, honestly, to be fair, after they did their little fucking COVID bullshit, that little fucking commie cough vaccine where you had to have an identification, ultimately, that made abortion illegal. Period. In the story, because the only thing that protected abortion was your right to privacy. Once they went ahead and pushed these mandates and forced these companies to go ahead and enforce some federal guidelines and stuff, well, now you don't believe in my body, my choice, and you don't believe in the right to privacy. So there goes. If you're going to debate me, right, on abortion, we're not debating for these rights anymore, because you've already went ahead and went past. So you've made that point right there. You've made it very fucking clear that this doesn't mean anything to you, because there would have been millions of people protesting in the streets when they were doing lockdowns, whenever they were doing these mandates, when they were doing all that shit. You would have protested then. Your time to protest on your body, your choice, that's already done. So we're going to sit there and have this debate. If you want to debate on abortion, I'm pro-life. And, the real debate isn't whether abortion should be illegal or legal. That's not the debate that we're having. The real debate is now, should abortion be used as a form of birth control? Because I'm going to tell you right now, most people will tell you unequivocally, they're going to tell you no. That should not be used as a form of birth control. Not with 11 fucking options out there. But this is the platform that the Democrats are going to build around. That's the only thing that they have, is the abortion issue. Do you think that people are going to go ahead and go for that? After the inflation is affecting the economy, you have all this crap in school being taught to your kids, basically trying to teach virtual communism. Do you think that people are going to sit there while they're trying to get us into World War III, with fucking Iran and China and Russia and anybody else you can go to war with? Do you think that's going to happen? And I'll go ahead and pass it over to Kev and let him, that way, I'm going to let him tell me what he thinks about it.
It's China. Honestly, what Paulson's saying is absolutely correct. You look at it from this point, I'm not really much of a Republican. I'm kind of like Paulson. I'm like that. I'm not a left. I'm not a right. I've petered more to the right than I do the left, because, let's face it, this is the Democratic Party. I'm pretty sure Thomas Jefferson's shooting himself in the foot for even starting this. Thing.
That would be Andrew Jackson. Thomas Jefferson was an anti-federalist like me.
Well, Andrew Jackson. Yeah, he started this whole, the Democratic thing. I'm pretty sure these founding fathers are probably like, What in the world is this world coming to? And we are in a constitution. We have laws in place to where if you are, I don't care if you're a senator, congressman, woman, governor, president, you are sworn to uphold and protect the Constitution. And and that is something that these people, the Democrats, are not doing. They're fucking crazy. And it's like the president, he said before Biden and before Trump, Barack Obama, who was married to Michael Obama. She's got bigger biceps than John Cena sometimes. And she's the one that wants to change all this. She wants to change all the lunches in schools. Let me tell you something. Kids like to have snack packs. Kids want fucking like burgers. They don't want no little like, hey, I need an apple and some orange juice. That's something that they didn't want, and they forced that down your throat. And my thing is with this whole situation is that I don't care if you have Joe Biden as the Democratic person, which kind of sucks that he won't debate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Like, he won't even do that debate at all because he knows Robert Kennedy Jr. is going to lay the smackdown on him if he does. And I'm thinking still, and could be possible, Poston, but I'm thinking that there is a contender waiting in the wings. I think that they're waiting until mid to 2024. I think they're going to try to get Biden out of there, and they're going to bring in Gavin Newsom. That's where I think there's going to be something that I think that they're going to try to do to maximize it, because they know that no one's going to vote for Biden. The dude's got a 32% approval rating. I don't know where they come up with that statistic in the first place. It should be probably about a 15% approval rating. I mean, when you force people, when you said about the vaccine, guess what kind of commercial they got on Pfizer now? I just saw it today. Not only can you get your COVID shot, but you can get your flu shot with the COVID shot. So now they're doing that bullshit. So I'm going to let you have it there, Poston.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm probably not getting my fucking flu shot neither. Which is fine, because every time I got my flu, because I used to have to get the motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? And every time I got the flu shot, this isn't going to give me a flu. Oh, that's an old wives' tale. You don't get the flu. And I'm like, I got it last year when you gave it to me. No, you didn't. Oh, was it just in my imagination that I was sick for like 3 days and coughing up? Oh, no, you didn't get the flu. And then they would give me the flu shot and I get the fucking flu. So, it means I'm just not going to get sick this year. Just like last year, whenever I didn't take the motherfucker, I didn't get sick. So, no, absolutely. Myself, if the Democrats had fully functional fucking brains, which they don't, clearly, like I said, you fucking snacking on the, aborted fetuses or whatever the fuck it is that you do, as the lizard people you fucking are, like, salty crackers got your fucking number. The sheer fact is that, to me, the fucking people that live in Gavin Newsom's own state don't even like him. Do you understand that? When you have somebody that's a hardcore socialist like Anna Kasparian, that's like, this motherfucker sucks. For a Democrat, this guy is trash. Before he gets in the race, that's one of his constituents. That's somebody who's saying that she's probably not going to vote for the motherfucker the next time he runs for the California office. What makes you think the fucking Texas motherfuckers or the Tennessee motherfuckers like Kev want him? No, we don't want him. We don't want him. We don't even want this last jackass that you went ahead and implemented, which is exactly what the hell you did. But now people are like, well, you know what? Maybe you're not a conspiracy theorist anymore. And now we can sit there and say, guess what? The fucking 2020 election was rigged. And, more and more people believe that. It's just the reason why you've kind of got everybody to go ahead and agree with you is because you've made yourself an echo chamber so much that everybody's like, Twitter sucks now. There's hardly anybody left on Twitter. Well, if you wouldn't have censored everybody off the motherfucker, you would probably still have people over there to have honest dialogue with. But since you went ahead and suspended all the people, terminated their fucking accounts that had an honest dialogue, that was just letting you know, the truth. Now these Hollywood actors and stuff, and I kind of feel bad for some of them. You look at Disney right now, and they put all this woke ESG bullshit into their stuff, and they're going under. It's almost like, okay, you look at what's the girl's name that played Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, right? Okay, her career is virtually ruined. What's the girl that played um fucking She-Hulk? Her career is pretty much, it's gonna be hard for her to find work. They got that chick, and I see this fucking chick all the time, all over the fucking place. That Rachel Ziegler, the one that's playing Snow White. Holy fuck! She didn't even get to the fucking movie, and her fucking career is already ruined. It's like, what the fuck did she do? But Disney has pretty much killed fucking everything. Left woke ideology bullshit. You've killed fucking Facebook. There's almost no traffic. I don't hardly see any shit from you. All I see is fucking spam, spam, spam. Or they'll put me in some ridiculous group of a sports fan or something. I can't comment on the motherfucker, but I can see the stupid posts come up on my shit all the time, where it's like, I say that Brock Purdy is already the best quarterback that ever lived already, and they'll say something stupid, or they'll say that fucking Lamar Jackson, it'll be some NFL group, or it'll be some fucking college football group where the Georgia fans are like, oh yeah, Georgia could beat the Dallas Cowboys right now, and it's stupid, and they say the shit all the time. Now, I get it. I used to troll. We used to do the fucking TNA thing all the time, but we did it in moderation. Now everybody does it. The market gets saturated with the shit, and this ends up being that these guys have no identity. The people that are running these operations have no real identity. And when we were doing it, like we would do the, TNA shit, we would do the wrestling talk, we would do the movie reviews, we would do the entertaining, but we would have fun doing it. And we would work with each other. We would bring other people in. Remember, like Jason Ruan, Bearstown, all these guys would come in. Scott Casey Gale's one of them guys that would just come out, and we were having fun with it. We would have fun with the shit. Everybody was kind of interacting with each other. We were getting to know each other. We were doing, and this is one of the reasons why YouTube is like losing their audiences like in an abundance. This is why your traffic is so low, is because all the people who were coming out here, putting out content, just having fun, have gotten pushed off for your Ben Shapiro's, your Steven Crowder's, your Young Turks, your fucking David Pac-Man, and all these motherfuckers are doing are sitting here. Well, in Steven Crowder's defense, his stuff is off the cuff, and it's usually pretty entertaining. But for the most part, it's just somebody reading a fucking word, ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha! Yes, we have. They fucking. That's what they're reading off of a teleprompter. And then half the time you get jump cuts because they fucked something up. So they look like fucking Max Headroom on fucking Xanax. And that's what you get. That's what's fucking classified as a YouTube channel today. So, there's so few people on here actually having fun, actually doing videos like we're doing right now. And, the Twitter's kind of the same way. It's all these people trying to make a quick buck. They're either grifting or they're trying to start their own little brand and label, make up some fucking shirt, put Trump's face on it. Here you go. I'm going to make $1 million. This is $1 million idea. It's going to have Trump's mugshot. And then on the other side, you'll have Cenk Uygur with his fucking ridiculous ass book, Justice is Coming, that reads, of course. That's just basically what the shit is. Just some incoherent scribbling by some third world pagan brain motherfucker that's going to sit there and teach you how to fail, because that's what the motherfucker's been doing for years now. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let Kev get him a good rant in, because I know that you probably got some things to say right now with the state of the internet as it is right now.
So I'm gonna let a special guest come in and do his talk about some things. Ooh yeah, the macho man, I always want to be the cream of the crop, cream of the top. Something posting. I look at all these little people, and especially the football fans. Yeah, they always say they want to fire someone or get rid of someone. I say put down the chips, go to the gym and work your fat ass off and get on to the field. Ooh, yeah. But anyway, thanks, Macho Man, for that. Anyway, though, I do think that a lot of times we used to have a lot of fun. We used to troll each other. These people that troll now have no idea how to help them troll in the first place. And it's become like a cesspool of people who think that they're funny and they're not. You better not. You're going to sell to John Cena. Now that's funny. Shit like that's funny. But when you got people who are like doing these things, we're sitting there like people like me and you, we're all like the OGs, we're all like been there, done that, we've seen it, who cares? Doesn't matter. What you're doing is pretty much what has been done. I mean, and you look at a guy like Donald Trump, and the guy had a mugshot. What does he do? He basically markets that and makes money off of it. That's because he's a businessman. And when he went to court in Atlanta and went to do his mugshot, he's got the gangsters for him now. Guys on the streets are liking Donald Trump now. And it's becoming a point where you guys are turning what they feel like is the enemy is now turning into, and we talk about Disney. Don't get me started with Disney. I mean, the reason why Marvel is doing this Secret Wars, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why they're bringing people back like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and possibly Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, because they got nobody. They ran Chris Pratt away. That's why Chris Pratt's not doing Star-Lord right now. They run these people off. And you see guys like Mark Wahlberg, Sylvester Stallone, all these people who are leaving Hollywood and they're moving. Like they're moving their families out of California. They don't want no part of California anymore. And we're dealing with we're doing, and I'm sure you deal with it with the Dallas Cowboy fan base too. Is like, with my team, the Titans, I hear it all the time. Well, that guy should be fired. That guy needs to be cut. I'm sitting there thinking, look, it's easy to look at something on the football field or the baseball diamond while you're sitting on your couch comfortable. It's another thing when you play the game and you have big defensive linemen coming at you who can run a 4.5, and you have like maybe have like 8 seconds to throw the football. And it's that way with this whole political thing. It's like, they want us to be brainwashed. They want us to command they've been trying to brainwash us for a while. And and people used to say all the time, "Oh, Posted Broccoli Hill's he's a conspiracy theorist." Well, you know what? What he's saying is absolutely right, you jack fucks.
Yeah, you'd think that if they wanted to go ahead and brainwash us, they would make their fucking products a little bit better, though. And right now, their products are terrible because, like you mentioned, the NFL. Right? I'm a big fucking NFL fan. I'm a big NFL guy, Dallas Cowboy fan. But I haven't watched in a long time, to be honest with you. And the reason why is because that it doesn't look like the same sport that I knew. It doesn't look like it's 110%. You've got all these players taking a knee for some stupid shit. You've got players ripping off their uniforms and doing jumping jacks on the field. Other players are getting into car crashes and running over ladies and their dogs and shit. And that's really what they talk about. Right now it's the vaccine, right? You got Aaron Rodgers on one side on the Pat McAfee show. You got Mr. Visor, Travis Kelce on the other side supporting, fucking Pfizer. So you got Johnson & Johnson versus Pfizer, supposedly, and some other stupid shit that they all throw out there. Like, this is what sports fans want to see. No, we want to watch the fucking game. I don't give a fuck about Taylor Swift at all, And, they implement the shit like, oh, yeah, you need a strong female to go ahead and cheer. No, I don't need a strong female. I need a naked female. If you want to go ahead and show me your boobs, Taylor Swift, you know what? Go ahead. I'll pay attention. But, yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, I don't, I'm not going to sit there and tune in to see what, oh, wow, she's cheering for fucking, and I don't know why fucking everybody thinks she's so sexy now. Like, she's a real smash. She's okay, but certainly not my first choice. Uh, and it's just everything. As far as like you said, from Marvel to Star Wars, which I never was a Star Wars fan. So, but I mean, the people who watch Star Wars are pissed off. Uh, a lot of the products wrestling isn't as good as it used to be, and okay, hang on, trying to add these.
AEW wrestling.
All right, we got Stephen Rose in the house. I'm gonna have to put Stephen Rose's fucking channel in a little bit later, though.
We couldn't do this show without yours truly in here. I didn't know you guys already started.
Oh yeah, we've already been going at it.
Am I echoing?
No, not too bad. But I'll go ahead and mute
Okay.
I'll go ahead and mute my mic real quick, and we'll go ahead and see what you have to say about the great Donald Trump and why he's gonna win in 2024, Stephen.
Well, I already said that I wasn't voting. But last night, I just want to say that a guy that I was kind of like, I had at the bottom of my card, kind of put him back on the top. Vivek Ramaswamy, I got to give him a shout out because he kind of owned the Republican debate last night. I got to give credit where credit's due. He pretty much buried what was left of Mr. Christie and Mrs. Haley. Like he pretty much buried both of them. DeSantis is kind of like, he's kind of a clout chaser. And the reason why I say this is because I don't know if y'all guys caught on to the bullshit he was saying last night, but DeSantis said that after the attacks happened, that he personally had planes flying to Israel to go rescue people and provided no receipts. And he's like, I saved over 700 people. And if it wasn't for me, there would have been more hostages. Like, he was like, you have to give me credit for that, guys. Like, it was like I couldn't stop laughing. But to get back to your point with Donald Trump, I honestly think he's a clear-cut favor. Like I said, me and Prodigal, we have criticized Trump, in the past and, of course, the present. But you got to give credit where credit's due. I think that there's no Republican candidate that's going to be able to compete with Trump. I think if you're Vivek Ramaswamy, you probably understand that at this point. I think what he's going to do is he's going to try to give some sort of wiggle room to either write more books or maybe to make a podcast out of this and maybe try to run as vice president, even though he says he doesn't want to if being offered the position. But trust me, if Trump came to his door and offered him a vice presidential run, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he may take it. But the rumors has it that Donald Trump is considering bringing Tucker Carlson as a possible VP candidate. And I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on that. What are your guys' thoughts about the Republican debate last night and Trump? What are your guys' thoughts about all that? Who wants to go first? And I'll mute myself.
I'll go. Swami, man, I'm telling you, I would love to see a one-on-one debate between him and Donald Trump. I would pay money to see it. And not only did he go after the rest of the Republican candidates, he went after the people that were hosting the damn thing. And he was like laying the smackdown on them. It was almost like looking like The Rock was over there doing a promo on them, calling people Rudy Poo, candy asses, and just slapping them around. I think with Trump, if there was a running mate of his, one person in particular, I heard a rumor that he might pick is the governor of South Dakota. And, she's really good. She's done a really good job with South Dakota. I criticize Trump as well. I'm with Steven. I'm with Poston on this. There's some things that he has done and there's some things that he's not done. The one thing that really irks me about him is the 4 years that he was there, he did nothing to fix the Obamacare and to fix the thing that we got right there. That was one of the things that I'm sitting there thinking, when I look to try to get some health insurance, you have to have they have that little commercial now where you get like a little financial help. You have to make a certain amount of percentage of money just to get it. And that sucks for me.
Yep. I'm not gonna lie.
That was one of my criticisms. I believe that was one of Stephen's criticisms too, is that the Democrats fucked up the healthcare system, and don't think that not 193 Americans don't understand how you fucked us over. And then the other motherfucking Americans that had to sit there and pay tax penalties. But yeah, see, the deal is that y'all missed it. Yeah, you saw Vivek Ramaswamy. And since you brought that up, Stephen, it's a good thing. I want to go ahead and clarify this for Vivek. Vivek said, the Republicans are losers. The Republicans are losers. They lost in 2017. They lost in 2018. And they lost in 2020. And he did all that fucking shit. I want to make one thing perfectly fucking clear, Vivek. The fucking Republicans are not losers. If they were losers, then there would be no need for this fucking video. The truth is that the Republicans are winners and they're fucking cowards. They win these elections. They go ahead and put in the work. They go ahead and look at the algorithms. They look at Stephen Rose. What is Stephen Rose saying? Okay, I'm going to put this in my speech. What is Prodigal Hill saying? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that in my speech. What is Big Kev saying? I'm going to put this in my speech. We're going to go ahead and go off of what these people, and the Democrats are going to be like, you better go ahead and give up your guns and freedom of speech, and we're going to take half your money, and you'll own nothing and like it and shit. That's not a fucking platform. And this is exactly why Trump is winning. The truth is that the Republicans are cowards. You're cowards. And you still think that people watch fucking, what's that, douchebags, these fucking, fucking Rachel fucking Maddows read off a teleprompter in their fucking studios. Nobody's watching that crap. This is exactly why people are getting off of YouTube. Because of them going back and, going, talking about stupid shit that nobody cares about. Nobody gives a fuck about. Nobody wants in your uterus, okay? I don't give a fuck about your uterus. If you don't want kids, don't get pregnant, all right? There's 11 forms of fucking birth control. That's not a fucking issue that we're going to sit there and talk about at all. So, make no mistake. That fucking abortion should not be used as a form of birth control. There's no way the Democrats are going to be able to argue on this fucking point. They would have to concede to you. They don't believe in fucking my right to my body, my choice. We already know this after the fucking commie cough vaccine. Yeah, and so you wonder why everybody's, look how many Trumpdividians we have in the house, look at all these people that are sitting here right now commenting on I don't normally get this. Look how active the fucking comment section is. That's a lot of fucking Trumpdividians. You know what I'm saying? It's not just us. And I'll go ahead and pass the mic back to Steve because he was about to say something.
Well, yeah, I'm trying not to interrupt because I tend to interject a lot and I interrupt you. And I saw our last video. I'm like, I can do better, right? And so I don't want to interrupt you while you're talking, but yeah, to actually get to 2 points I want to come across is, number one is what Prodigal Hill said about the my body, my choice. They gave up that right when they told us that we had to take the jab and we didn't have a right to not, or else jobs would fire us. In fact, Walmart didn't threaten to fire me, but they were offering me money on several occasions. I think they offered me up to $300 as if they were trying to pay me off. And I'm like, so you want me to take all the risk for $300? And my health can go on the line, but of course, it doesn't affect you. I got to take the risk. And to get to Kev's point of view about Donald Trump, being in office and how the Republican Party, didn't really do much, when they were winners and when Trump had both the Senate and the House. I couldn't have agreed more. He had plenty of opportunity to repeal most of Obama's policies. And to get to Kev's point of view, to add to it, is it was more expensive to get health care under Donald Trump than it was Obama. However, with Barack Obama, put the country in more deficit doing that. So it really was a lose-lose on the healthcare issue either way, because when you have all these regulations that Polston talks about, it makes it impossible to have what's called price transparency, where you can have more healthcare companies open and then it brings the price down based on the market. So rather it was Trump not taking these regulations away from these government regulations away, or rather it was Obama just mandating healthcare, it was still going to be bad at the end of the day anyway. But anyways, the point that I wanted to make, to correct Prodigal Hill, and I'll let him jump in, he was completely right about the Republican Party being the party of losers. Now, Prodigal says that they won and they didn't exceed on that. You're right. But I'll make the argument that the Republican Party are the party of losers because you allow Joe Biden to reform the state of Texas with all of our conservative legislation that's been passed, with the banning of 40-year-old men cross-dressing in our schools coming to see our kids, putting a ban on that, putting a ban on transitioning, or what Prodigal would call child mutilation, under 18. That passed in Proposition Bill 8 yesterday. The only proposition that didn't pass was Proposition Bill, I think, 13, and that was the retirement age for politicians, kind of like a reform term limits. And that's the only one that didn't pass. We'll go figure. When you got a bunch of judges that are 80 years old voting on it, you think they're going to vote against themselves retiring? No. That was the only proposition bill that didn't make it, but the rest of them passed. And our property tax bill is going to decrease. Texans are going to see a decrease in property tax by 25% next year and 35% the following year. And so, and of course, Roe v. Wade. What was it? Joe Biden said specifically it should be up to the states to determine that. And that's why I said Joe Biden is more of a conservative than the conservative party. And I'll pass the microphone back to Prodigal Hill.
Well, I'll go ahead and see what Kev thinks about it. See what Kev has to say about it. This way, yeah. And then you can go ahead and pass it to me after you get through.
You know, the biggest thing is you know, we all talk about how the Republicans are pansies and everything like that. The reason why the Democrats are winning certain things is because the Democrats, whether they're crazy or not, they tend to agree with each other. The Republicans, you have what you call the old rhinos, Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy and them. That's why Kevin McCarthy was booted out. And then when they tried to bring in a guy like Jim Jordan, they couldn't vote on it. They couldn't vote for the right House Speaker. This is the problem with the Republican Party. They say things, they get into office, and they don't do nothing about it. That's why
Facts.
And that's why when you see a person like the election last year in Arizona, you think that woman who re-won as governor, you don't think they fixed that fucking election? Absolutely, they fixed that election. And we're living in a time now where we have, not only do we have the healthcare crisis, but we're having, and you guys live in Texas, so you know what I'm talking about here, and we're having this problem here in Tennessee too. There's a homeless population that's growing each and every week.
Facts.
Not only are we having that problem, we're having veterans who fought and died, who basically have PTSD, have no more hearing, have missing legs and stuff. They're being kicked out for people who are being moved overseas, who are crossing this border over and over and over again. We don't know what these people are bringing. That's why all these drugs are up here. If you really want to work, if the Democrats were smart and they really want to work on gun control, the best thing you could do is stop the black market and stop guns coming from overseas.
And I want to add to that, not to mention the Republican Party has played a big role in allowing big corporations to sell your data off to China. Yeah. Which that is also another issue too, on top of real estate, where you see all these new subdivisions being built. Did you guys know that one billionaire, I can't think of his name, I can't think of it, this guy's a famous billionaire, but he owns 40% of all rental properties in the state of Texas. 40% of all rental properties. That means you have billionaires, you got corporations that are invested in real estate. And what this is ultimately, it's destroying the middle class.
Okay.
I'm going to elaborate on that real quick, because if we didn't have this fucking fascist system set up of taxes and shit, where they're able to go ahead and tax your income and do these arbitrary taxes, there wouldn't be any billionaires, you know?
Facts.
Because once somebody had a product and then were successful, deliver that product, well, guess what? Stephen Rose is going to develop a better product at a quicker rate for a cheaper price, and that's how you get quality. And this is what I always sit there and tell everybody. If, you know, if the government sits there and they say, we need to tax the billionaires, and you'll hear Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez with her big ass fucking eyes, oh, we need to tax the rich and shit like that. Well, here's the big fucking deal, right? You take $5.3 trillion in fucking tax revenue every fucking year. If you wanted to solve all this bullshit that you blow right out your little fucking butthole, you would have solved all this shit.
Facts.
So the government, dollar is worth less in the government's pocket than it is in your pocket, because you're going to demand quality. You're going to demand, it be done efficiently. You're going to demand that it be done right. The government doesn't have to do that, and they won't have any competition. And this is exactly why the fucking progressives don't understand why they're so popular, especially in the age of the internet, where it's an open market, or it should be an open market. Effectively, they're trying to control this market because they want to go ahead and shadow ban me. They want to shadow ban Stephen Rose. They want to shadow ban Big Kev. But they want to push some fucking ridiculous talking simp like David Pacman. Well, I just think that the blue states are better. Well, then why the fuck do you want to move to a red state? Why do we have so many fucking Californians moving to Tennessee? Why do we have so many Californians moving here to Texas? Why are they moving to Georgia? Why are they moving to red areas if it's so much better in a blue state? How come our migration crisis isn't from Mexico? It's from California.
Facts.
I'm telling you that right now. I have no issues with the illegal immigrants that are coming over here because at least they'll work. But you got all these entitled fucking, Californians who can't drive worth a shit. And then they come and buy up property like Stephen Rose was just talking about, making your fucking property taxes go up, doing all these ridiculous ass zoning laws. Oh, you can't have shit 3 feet from a road and yada, yada, yada. Bitch, go back to California. Nobody invited your ass here in the first place.
Facts.
Then they do all these housing developments. And then they have the fucking balls to sit there and say, we need to do something about all these carbon emissions. No, you could take your happy ass back to fucking smug ass fucking San Francisco, and that would solve our carbon emissions here in Texas.
Facts.
All right? So, I mean, the sheer fact is that the Democrat Party is the most generic fucking version of a party. That's like a middle school. I mean, they're fucking like running for middle school president and shit. Everybody gets free ice cream. Everybody should have this, and everybody should have that. And I would like to buy the world a Coke. That's their fucking party. And it just doesn't work that way in reality. You got to have a little bit of pragmatism. Not everybody can sit there and, say, hey, everybody gets free this, and we're going to go ahead and take it out of your pocket. It's just like whenever them fucking women, they're like, well, if I have to give birth, are you going to take care of the kid? Bitch, you didn't give me no pussy, so why the fuck do I have to take care of your kid? It's just fucking ridiculous. But that's their fucking mindset. They're entitled. They feel like they're entitled to your income. And I guarantee you, with like everybody out there and living in the real world, having to work for their money, having to put food on their table, having to go ahead and drive back and forth to work with these gas prices and shit, because you think that everybody wants your shit, and regardless if it's not popular, because you're not popular. I know that Big Kev says, well, they all agree. And, no, most of the fucking people that I know that were for this shit are now quite far right of me. And, I think that ultimately, if they were smart, they wouldn't run with a dipshit like fucking Gavin Newsom, because Gavin Newsom is far fucking left. He's already destroyed California with his bullshit. Why the fuck would you run with somebody even dumber than the motherfucker you already have in office? And the only reason that he's not more dumber is because he's just fucking incompetent altogether. Yep. So you just put something inside of him. Okay, I'll find this. And so, he's old and shit. So, I mean, why would you put in, I think that honestly, and I'll go ahead and bounce this off of both of you and let y'all both have a reaction to it. But it'd be me. I would put in Tulsi Gabbard and have The Rock as her running mate. That's just the easiest fucking way to solve your little Democrat problems. But now she's an independent, but, back whenever Trump was running, that's who I would have ran.
That's the biggest mistake that the Democratic Party made, is the fact that they become so far left, they're chasing all their moderate, progressive, left-wing people that actually do the down-the-earth talking points for them, that try to explain why they have to be with that party and why the extreme left is the way they are. So your moderate Democrat base is supposed to be your strongest in the group, just like your moderate conservatives, your libertarian that vote, conservative. When you're the extremists in your group try to push it to the extreme, the moderates in your group are going to say, wait a minute, I don't agree with this, and that's not the party I thought I was supposed to be a part of. Well, then maybe I need to second guess where I'm at. And so that's where you get, like in 2016 when Trump ran, there were people going viral for talking about how they used to be Democrat and then they ran to the Republican side. I remember I made a video about that because I used to be a hardcore Democrat until Donald Trump ran. And that's what turned me into a conservative and started having more conservative views. And so when you have these extreme leftists or even sort of, extreme right people, it's going to make it hard for your 90% of your base that's moderate to continue to follow suit. If you become too extreme, like Prodigal Hill says, you swung that pendulum swing so far left, now it just swings right because you went so far left.
Damn right. I had to get a little bit of Austin out of me for a second. I want to bounce off of what Steven said here. You have, I guess we can agree. I'm gonna let y'all chime in real quick. Can we all agree that the Democrats, to me, there is no competition? They have this country's a lot better when there is some competition. When there's competition, everything is better. We're better. Everybody's better. And I don't see that with the Democrats. What I see with the Democrats remind me of those parents who were like, hi, after the baseball game, you went 0-5 and you dropped a bunch of passes. Guess what? We're going to get you candy. Hooray! Yay! We're going to have ice cream. And that is exactly what they do. They want you to have all this stuff. And now we can't even watch sports anymore. We can't even watch like some of the favorite sports we used to watch. We can't even watch the NBA, can't watch the NFL.
Facts.
Seeing some political bullshit.
Hey, Kev, don't forget about the diversity equity hires. That's a Democratic policy that we're all the same. But
right.
meaning we're all the same, we all get paid the same, but you're going to do all the work. That's basically
You know what's bad though? As eventually all these people that are moving from Tennessee to Texas and stuff, eventually we're gonna have a house on top of a house. That's how this is gonna look. And what really sucks for us in Virginia is when new houses are built on your street, your property tax increases more and more and more, and because they're buying up land, they're buying up all this stuff.
Marvin said this best. I don't know if you guys are going to laugh your ass off. Marvin said, man, we might all become part of the transgender community by the time this is all done. He said, we're probably going to have to hit the stripper pole and prostitute ourselves. I'm like, really? It's like the way this country's going. The dollar's deflating. The market's shrinking. We're all, man, Prodigal, Kev, me, we're all going to have to hit the stripper pole, the bear downtown pretty soon.
Well, Hard Bastard has been saying this for years now, I think. He said, eventually it's going to become, you're going to have to take mandatory dick. That's what he says. He says you're going to have to end up having to sleep with one of these. They're going to force the dick on you. And, it's as fucking ridiculous as the left is. It's a good thing that they don't have any real power because, you look at the left and it's like these little fucking soy boy twerks that are like, you're being discriminative of this, and there's fucking this shit that, they're fucking nerds. And so I meant, they're sitting here and they don't really have the fucking means to back up any of their fucking threats. And it's just absolutely just ridiculous bullshit. It's laughable when they come out and they're like, we're going to go ahead and start the revolution, marching with their little fucking Che Guevara flag. They don't even understand that the hammer and sickle means that you're going to have to actually do some fucking work. And like I said, Steven, you were a supervisor. Kev, I'm not sure if you were a supervisor, but I can speak for my own supervisor experience. If they got any fucking dumber, I would have to water them 3 times a day. All right? Because that's how fucking dumbed down the population has gotten.
Bro,
And they don't want to do anything. They're entitled. They want
Facts.
your job. They
Facts.
want your job, but they don't want to do the motherfucker.
Facts.
They still want you to do the job, but they just want your paycheck. It's what they're telling
Facts.
you, essentially. And it's like, you know what? Fine, you want my job, you can go ahead and have it, but I'm not doing the motherfucker for you. And if you fuck up, that's on you. And so, you know, all the time, I know that, like,
Yeah,
you know,
they argue equity. Well, basically, I want to do, you know, back what you were saying. You know, I want equal outcome, but not equal work.
right. And if you get that, and this is what we're seeing right now, and I know that you've worked in retail, and I'm currently still working in that department, in that area and shit.
Lord of the
It's all, first off, it's all retail right now, whether it's Walmart, whether it's Dollar General, whether it's fucking, you know, Lowe's, whatever it is, right? It's all run like a military operation. It's run basically on the military formulas and shit. And so all the logistics in this country are run like the military. And I can tell you right now, looking at these logistics and shit, everybody's like, oh, well, this is slave labor, making like $15 an hour, not having to do a whole hell of a lot. And everybody's so entitled and they don't give a fuck. It's a wonder that we get anything on these shelves, you know, that we get any of these products out. It just amazes me. And, you know, everybody is just, like I said, if it ever came down to a war, right, a civil war, an actual civil war, there'd be no fucking way that the left could ever hold anything considered a fucking military operation together. Period.
Facts.
And, you know, y'all can't, you know, the shit that y'all are doing online and stuff, most of these people create sock accounts and sub to themselves. You know what I'm saying? And then they start shit with themselves on them sock accounts. And then they expect us, the original people who used to be on YouTube that are no longer on YouTube, but come back to YouTube to see what they're, you know, what's on YouTube and see them arguing with a sock account that you know, very well know. You can go back and look up the sock account's history and you see that it's them on a sock account. You know, they think that everybody's stupid, and that's the problem. And so, you know, you've got right now, this is what I'm going to sit there and say that it is. You have a fake culture. We were the culture war. The ones that got fucking Trump into office, the ones that were coming out here doing videos saying, hey, fuck the Democrats, go Trump, vote for Trump. It wasn't because we really like Trump. And this is what I can't get the Democrats to understand. It isn't because we necessarily thought fucking Trump was this fucking orange god that was going to save us and pull us out of the fucking depths or shit. The reason why people voted for fucking Trump is it was a rejection of you. It was a rejection of DC. It was a rejection of all these backdoor fucking policies, these wars that you get us into, not fixing the shit, it's going around the shit, creating more fucking problems. Now, you know, this country could be run a hell of a lot more efficiently without this government, just in total. But that's why people voted for Trump. That's exactly why people voted for Trump. And the sheer fact is that they just don't understand this. It's a rejection of you. I want you to sit there and look at this video, even though that myself and Stephen Rose probably ain't even going to fucking vote next year. You know what I'm saying? But I can guarantee you, everybody that I know that is ready to fucking vote, they're just fucking foaming at the mouth, ready to go ahead and pull that fucking lever for Trump. They're going to go out and vote. And I want you to take it personally. I want you to be offended. I want you to sit there and cry. I want you to be afraid. Because if you're afraid, if you understand that you're so fucked up that nobody can vote for you and you've been doing fucking 91 indictments, you've been doing fucking hit pieces on this man for 8 years, you know, you've went ahead and pulled PSYOP after fucking false flag after PSYOP, trying to sit there and throw dirt on this man just to get people not into him. And the sheer fact is that the more harder you try, the motherfucker doesn't even show up to the damn debate, and he's still getting more percentage points. It's absolutely fucking insane. And so you really need to start going ahead throwing in the fucking chips, going back, and you should have done the shit in 2016. The sheer fact that we're still fucking telling you this shit in 2023 when you should have done the shit in 2016 instead of investing all that fucking effort that you invested in with the fucking piss dossier and the Trump fucking collusion and the Russian hacking and the damn that should have told you shit back then. That you should have said, you know what? Maybe we are fucking as dumb as they're telling us we are. Maybe we need to go ahead and replace some of these fucking candidates, not the fucking progressive Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez Taco Bell motherfuckers, but actual real candidates like a Tulsi Gabbard or there's good Democrat candidates out there. But instead, you double down on the stupidity and you go further. What's causing you people to lose? If you really, really, really fucking think that a majority of the people want your fucking Medicare, Medicaid for all, let me tell you something, you're wrong. Yeah, it pulls really high in your fucking demographics, but it's going down. Like I said, I've already went over my healthcare plans, and it's far better than anything that the Democrats are going to come up with. I've already went on my fucking solution to the fucking border, whatever the fuck you want to claim that it is. And how to make that situation a lot better without having to build a fucking border wall. This shit's been out there. It's on the internet. You can't claim ignorance anymore. You've got to claim that you're fucking malevolent. So I meant at this point in time, this is intentional. The stupid shit that you're doing, nobody's gonna get involved in your fucking Israel fucking Palestinian shit. Nobody's getting involved in your fucking Ukraine Russian bullshit. Nobody's sitting there buying into your fucking new Middle East bullshit where you're going to control all the fucking oil and shit. You just don't have that much confidence in your fucking party. You don't have that much confidence in the whole fucking government whatsoever. And instead of fixing the shit, you're doubling down because, well, more than likely the shit that you see coming to pass has been foretold in the Bible. And you're trying to double down and get all that fucking power. And it's not working because,
Facts.
you know what? You're not qualified to hold that position.
Facts.
And like I said, it's going to be interesting because, like I said, Trump comes in, you get that project 2025 that the Republicans are working on. And I'm going to tell you that that's going to be a lot more conducive to society. It's going to yield better fruit, even though it's still dangerous. And I'm not for any kind of theocracy. That's the direction that society is going to go because you've went so far fucking left.
Facts.
That pendulum is going to swing that far right. And I've already told you this. I've been telling you this shit. I know I told you the shit whenever they were doing the fucking COVID shit. Okay. You're good, Kevin. I got you. Appreciate it. Good for having you on. Big Kev's link is in the description, and I'll put Stephen Rose's whenever the video gets uploaded.
Okay.
But like I said, I've been telling them the shit like ever since whenever they were pushing the COVID shit. I said, y'all are gonna lose Roe v. Wade. That will never go away. We're always gonna do. And what happened? Not more than maybe 6 or 7 months after I said the shit, Roe v. Wade is gone. Well, guess what? That's just one other fucking, I got a little fucking feather right there. I'll go ahead and let you go.
And guess who signed off on it? Joe Biden.
There you go. And then, they needed that anyways. They needed Roe v. Wade because that's the only thing that they got. And you can't argue on the motherfucker anymore. You have no arguments to use to keep Roe v. Wade. You can't keep the motherfucker anymore. Like I said, as I said, this is what the Republicans need to do. They need to stop arguing whether abortion is illegal or illegal because that's already been decided. When they started making people get the fucking vaccine, you've already decided that, Roe v. Wade isn't a constitutional right. It's not a fundamental right. You've already said that we don't have a right to our body, our choices. That's what you told us whenever you made us take that fucking vaccine.
Facts.
So what the Republicans need to argue on now, because I will say this, in the case of like it being medical or something, or in the case of a rape, I can see justifying abortion in those cases. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But there's 11 different options for birth control, and abortion shouldn't be one of them.
Facts.
Now that's the argument that you make to these motherfuckers, and then you demand that the fucking Democrats argue that the fucking that abortion should be used as birth control. I'll go ahead and let you take it over. I'm going to put this on mute.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't disagree with you anymore. You made a good point on Roe v. Wade. Democrats want to be mad at somebody. Your boy Joe Biden is the one who said that it should be left up to the states' rights. So when me and Prodigal make videos criticizing both Joe and Trump, we give a fair criticism for both. In fact, the Republican Party, if anything, despite the fact that they have failed for the last 8 to 9, 10 years on passing legislation and trying to stop these big tech corporations from ultimately censoring us, along with all the other issues going on in this country, they sat and did nothing. And then you got a guy like Joe Biden that came in, and at least for the state of Texas, I can make the argument that he's done a lot of good things for our state. Now, does that mean that I'm saying he's a good president? Absolutely not. I don't think me and Prodigal are going to argue that. But in my honest opinion, Joe Biden comes more off as a demented person with a little bit of conservative viewpoints. And I hate to say this, but he did what the Republican Party should have done. And it's not really a slap to Donald Trump, but that's not what I'm saying. This is more of an embarrassment to the Republican Party as a whole. Because if you got Joe Biden acting more as a conservative than your Republican Party, then that says a lot about the Republican Party. And so Vivek Ramaswamy is going to say, well, this is the party of losers. Well, in a sense, he's right. I will concede that argument to him. He's right. And I criticized Vivek Ramaswamy from day one. I said he's Barack Obama ripoff. I still believe that he's a plant. Some people say he's a plant. I agree. But I'm past the mic to Prodigal, but I will concede that Vivek Ramaswamy did a very good job last night. And some of the arguments that he made and the burials he did of Mr. Christie and Mrs. Haley, Nikki Haley, and DeSantis doesn't really, to me, come across as somebody who's prepared for that big stage. He still wants to fund the war in Ukraine, or he wants to pull back less and let Europe. But how can Europe put more into Ukraine if we're the ones covering their defense budget and we're the ones paying for NATO? So, hey, Paulson, say facts real quick so that way.
Facts.
Yeah. So if they can't even pay for their own defense budget and we're paying for their health care, how the fuck are they going to fund Ukraine? Which means it's going to end up coming back to the United States. And guess whose tax dollars? It's going to be our tax dollars using to fund Ukraine through the extra money, through their defense budget. That's just going to come out of my pocket, your pocket, Prodigal's pocket anyway. And then they'll just create, and I'll give this to Prodigal here, slush funds that's just going to end up finding that money back here anyway. Because we're the ones that create the weapons. I think 20% of the weapons that Ukraine gets are from the United States. In fact, that may be a low number. It may be more. That may just be a low ball figure. But think about it. Even at 20%, that money's coming back here. So our tax dollars is going to Europe, then it comes back here. But it's not coming back in my pocket. It's not coming back in Prodigal Hill's pocket. It's going in the pockets of politicians that are getting kickbacks, some of these companies that produce weapons. And this does nothing for our economy at the end of the day. And we're just going to have to keep funding these wars, these winless wars. Go ahead, Prodigal.
Well, it's just like we sat there and said before. We pretty much fund all the fucking... Everybody's like, we should go ahead and go to the socialist system over there in Europe, except we fund that fucking socialist system. So how the fuck are we going to go to the socialist system in Europe when we're paying off their fucking shit? Just like Steven said. So... whenever the fucking Democrats tell you, well, they have free health care everywhere else. Yeah, that's at our expense. Yeah, that's at our expense, though. It's off of us. And so now you want us to fund our health care, which would ultimately be, like I said, I've got a better fucking policy. We could probably get this done a hell of a lot better if you would just go ahead and put that $5 trillion right back into the fucking economy. You would stop taxing motherfuckers to death with their fucking taxes and a tax for this and a tax for that and a tax for this. And then you got to pay a tax on a tax. And the shit's just fucking stupid. And that's all that the Democrats are so fucking greedy. And they just want to go ahead and take more and more and more of your money, but they never want to deliver on anything. This is why all the fucking left-wing states that have these high state taxes are such shitholes. And you never have anything to show for the tax dollars that you're spending into them. But with that being said, this is their fucking platform. It's mutilating fucking kids. It's increasing your fucking taxes. It's taking away your right to fucking, own a firearm, to have free speech. This is their fucking platform. Don't deny the shit. This is exactly what you motherfuckers are running on. And then you want to go out there and say, but we should have a right to an abortion. That's the only fucking issue that you've got. This is why I keep coming back to you. That's the only fucking issue that you're running on. Is the right to a fucking abortion. And at the end of the fucking day, whenever I'm pumping gas into my fucking car once or twice a week, well, you think I'm thinking, oh, well, at least Stephanie down the road can still have an abortion. I'm not thinking of that shit at all. You know, at all. It's not even crossing my mind. You know what? Whenever Stephanie has to go down there and pump fucking gas into her car, she's like, well, I have to pay $6 a gallon for gas, but at least I can still have an abortion if I want. Like, you know, she's not thinking about that shit. She's trying to feed her kids that she's got. What makes you think she cares about whether fucking Fonda Dix over there can get a fucking divorce, an abortion? She don't care. She doesn't give a fuck. You know, and that's fucking just that's it. That's their only fucking platform. And then you wonder, you want to call everybody a Trump fucking Davidian. You want to call us, oh, they're in a cult. They're in a cult. That's the absolutely most insane fucking shit outside of Joe Biden getting 80 million votes that I believe I've ever fucking heard. Because I guarantee you that Steven and myself are not going to agree on every fucking thing. He'll have his views. He'll sit there and talk about this shit. And, you know, that you just must understand what a cult is. Everybody has to do everything. Whenever you're talking about key talking points on your little fucking network, and you're sitting there saying 91 indictments over and over and over and over and over and over to everybody, that's cult-like fucking behavior. Whenever you're sitting there talking about hashtag ban guns now, or ban assault weapons, or whatever the fuck that you're saying, that's fucking cult behavior. Yes. And then when you point at every fucking body else and tell them that they're in a cult, well, you look like a fucking retard. You know what I'm saying? You look fucking stupid. Nobody's going to take you seriously on anything. Your credibility is fucking gone. So the sure fact is, you can go ahead and get on your little fucking Twitter account and say, my God, the Republicans are so stupid. I'm going to vote blue no matter who to stop the stupid. And nobody's going to fucking take you seriously. And in fact, you have to ban everybody for making fun of your stupid ass. Just like you did me, 6 fucking Twitter accounts, 2 fucking YouTube accounts, a fucking Facebook account that I've had for years before you motherfuckers started taking control of the internet. And now you wonder why they don't even have a consensus anymore. They have no fucking clue where everybody is. You have no zeitgeist. You don't know what people are talking about because guess what? You went ahead and censored all this internet, and people who would come out here and print the shit, you know, sit there and type the shit on the internet, they're no longer here anymore because you suspended them all. So tell me, what do you got, Democrats? What do you have? If you're on Twitter, because this motherfucker's on Twitter, go ahead and give me a comment. Go ahead and give Stephen Rose a comment. Counter the shit that we're saying. We want a fucking debate. And in fact, I would go ahead and drop a fucking link to any Democrat in fucking Twitter. I would drop a link in the fucking description if I thought you would come in and have a serious debate.
Super fast.
But you're not. And I'll go ahead and pass the mic off to Stephen Rose real quick.
Oh, absolutely. Wait, am I echoing? I think I'm echoing.
You're good.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now what? I mean, yeah, I pretty much agree with everything Prodigal has to say. Our freedom of speech is under attack. It's okay for other people to say stuff, like our news media outlets. They can promote fake news. They can say questionable things. No one needs to fact check them. There's no fact check and strike on their channel. But meanwhile, independent YouTube content makers are fact check constantly on the things that they say. And it just shows you the bias that we have in this country when it comes to how the freedom of speech is enforced, where some can say it and some can't. And, you know, that needs to change. You know, when instead of just having open dialogue and people are talking, they just say, well, let's just go ahead and ban you and kick you off the platform. I don't think that's right. I think even people who criticize me should be able to have a voice. I think, you know, I've been questioned for saying that. I think hate speech is protected speech. And that's just because I think that just it just goes along with, the people's points of views. You don't have to agree with them. And if they wanted to go racial with me, I would say that's okay. That's within their First Amendment right. Who am I to tell them what they can and can't say? All I can say, though, however, is that if I respond with whatever I respond with in terms of having, the dialogue back, then it's fair game. That's all I'm asking. You still there, Prodigal?
Yeah. I'm probably fixing to have to wrap this up, man, because my phone's about to die. So, do you got anything else you want to leave off on?
Well, he said I'm turning into Robbie Battle now. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, sorry. I forgot to bring the kid. I don't know. It may be a wishy-washy thing, a little bit. Is that what you're talking about, Golden and Mika, where you're kind of like on both sides of everything?
Okay. Fair point.
I don't know. I guess that's what he means. But anyways, yeah, I'm fixing to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we said everything we had to say, and I appreciate you for inviting me on once again, man. I wish I would have been on the first 30 minutes you and Kev talked, so I'm gonna go back and watch that part. We'll reconvene probably sometime next week.
Yeah, we'll try and do a show. We'll try to do it on your channel though, because I got a good I got a good video for you, I think, and I'll bounce it off.
Okay, well, just share me the info, and we'll get right to it.
All right. Well, anyways, look, I'll go ahead and leave Stephen Rose's link in the description once this video is uploaded. I'll have to go back and put it in on my YouTube channel. But with that being said, y'all people, tell us what you think. Like, sub, do the shit the internet tells us to do to get over. And for now, we're out.
All right, peace.